Hello, everybody. So today we're going to have a read aloud of a book that is classic literature. It is called The Tale of Coralie Crothers. This book was written and illustrated by Romney Gay. I wonder if there's anything you notice about the illustrations in this book. I don't know if you can see the coloring of the book, but it is a little old. In fact, if you're to look on the dedication page, this is affectionately dedicated to Jean Q. Copyright 1932. This is the tale of Coralie Crothers. She had no sisters, nor any brothers. Of course she was lonesome, as you would be too, and one day decided just what she would do. So the very next morning, she jumped out of bed and into the tub. Washed and scrubbed and had a good rub. Ran a comb through her curly locks. Put on her clothes, her shoes, and socks. Packed her slippers, a dress, and book. Her sweater and toothbrush she also took. Scrambled into her brand new coat. Wrote her mother a hasty note. Hurriedly found her purse and hat, forgot her gloves, but never mind that. Said goodbye to her teddy bear, who was far too sleepy to know or care. Woke her doll, whose name was Jean. Put on her bonnet and her coat of green. Left the house without more ado. Jumped into this book and came to you. So what I'd like for you to do is to sit and reflect upon what was the conflict of this story. It was not a fight or an argument or anything really bad. In fact, a lot of children's books don't have really bad conflicts. Instead, this conflict was that Coralie was just lonely because she didn't have any brothers or sisters. So how did she resolve that conflict? Let me give you a second to think about that. So if you're thinking that the way she solved that conflict was to jump in the book and come straight to you, that's absolutely right. So I thought this is a very interesting book to read to you because it's not a framework that we very often run into. We've had a framework story like Where the Wild Things Are, which is where the character creates his own framework. So he is in his bedroom and he falls asleep and jumps into his own imagination, goes into an alternative world. Well, this kind of framework story I think is brilliant on the author's behalf because it takes the character from the book and makes her seem like a real person to the reader because the author says she's going to come out of this book and come straight to you. So now we can look up and maybe our imaginations will say, hey, here comes Coralie coming through my door to hang out with me because she's lonely and she doesn't have any brothers or sisters and she wants to play. So to me, it's almost a call to action for the reader to be ready for a new friend to come into their lives, which I think is a very interesting thing, because as far as faith integration goes, we could actually utilize this book for faith integration by asking our students, well, who else have you invited into your life before? Whose life have you entered before and why? Is there somebody that you would like to invite into your life now? Somebody who will help you not be lonely anymore? Somebody who will be there for you? So I think that's a very interesting concept. Now, this book is typically written for a much younger audience. But I will say that if you utilize this book in your classroom, you will have to do some historical instruction about how in 1932, when this book was published, outfits were different. They talked about putting on the doll's bonnet, which nowadays dolls don't really have bonnets a whole lot. They might have hats or things like that, but not necessarily bonnets. So you definitely want to pick out some of those historical pieces of fashion, as well as the structure of the book is very quick and snappy because there's very little text on each page. Another reason why I brought this book in was because what you guys are doing right now is you're writing your own children's book, and most of you are illustrating it on your own, and this book was written and illustrated by the author. So I thought that was interesting. So let me show you the book again. It's called The Tale of Coralie Crothers, and it's written and illustrated by Romney Gay. So if you'd like to look at this book anymore, then feel free to come to my office and you can flip through it. And of course, as I will tell you, just like with any other book, here's a cute little back illustration as well, that because it's old, it has its own like antique book smell. So you know me with my book smells. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed this read aloud of The Tale of Coralie Crothers, and I will see you next time. Okay, bye.